Talk less, achieve more. The secret to real growth. The power of quiet action. Many people love to talk. They talk about dreams. They talk about plans. They talk about what they will do tomorrow. Talking feels good. It feels exciting. It feels important. But talking is not doing. Real growth begins in silence. When you talk less, you think more. When you think more, you see clearly. When you see clearly, you act with purpose. This is the secret. Success is not loud. Success is focused. Imagine a seed under the soil. It does not shout. It does not tell the world it will become a tree. It grows in the dark. It grows quietly, day by day. Your goals are like that seed. They need protection. They need time. They need quiet. If you dig up the seed every day to show people, it will not grow. If you keep talking about it, you slow it down. Growth needs action, not attention. Many people share their goals too early. They tell friends. They post online. They speak about big dreams. For a moment, they feel proud. They feel strong. They feel successful. But nothing has happened yet. The brain is strange. When you talk about a goal, your brain feels reward. It feels like progress, even if you did nothing. This feeling can trick you. It can make you lazy. It can steal your hunger. That is why talk less is powerful. When you keep your goals private, something changes inside you. You feel calm. You feel focused. You feel serious. You stop trying to impress people. You start trying to improve yourself. That is real growth. Growth is not about applause. Growth is about discipline. Discipline is quiet. Discipline wakes up early. Discipline works when nobody watches. Discipline keeps going when it is boring. Talking is easy. Working is hard. Anyone can speak. Few people act. Ask yourself a simple question. Do you want attention or do you want results? Attention is fast. Results take time. Attention disappears. Results stay. When you choose results, you choose silence. Silence gives you space. Space to think. Space to plan. Space to grow. In silence, you learn about yourself. You see your fears. You see your doubts. You see your habits. And you begin to change them. If you talk all the time, you cannot hear your inner voice. If you are always explaining, you cannot improve. Silence builds strength. Think about strong people. They do not talk too much. They listen. They observe. They move with purpose. Their words are few. Their actions are clear.
When they speak, people listen. Why? Because they do not waste words. When you talk less, your words gain power. Every sentence becomes meaningful. Every promise becomes serious. You become someone people respect, not because you speak loudly, but because you act quietly. Imagine two people. The first person talks about going to the gym. Every day he says he will start. He tells everyone about his plan. He explains his future body. The second person says nothing. He just goes. He trains. He sweats. He repeats. After months, who changes? the quiet one. The loud one only talked. Life works like that. You do not grow because you speak. You grow because you repeat small actions every day. Small steps matter. Small progress matters. Small habits matter. Big talk does not matter. Real growth is boring sometimes. It is simple. It is daily work. Wake up, do the task, improve a little, rest, repeat. No big announcement, no drama, no noise, just progress. When you remove noise, your mind becomes clear. Clear mind, clear action, clear results. Noise creates confusion. Confusion creates delay. Delay kills dreams. Silence protects your dream. It keeps your energy safe. It keeps your focus strong. Energy is precious. Every time you argue, every time you explain, every time you defend your plan, you lose energy. Save that energy. Use it to build your future. You do not need everyone to understand you. You need yourself to commit. Commitment is private. Commitment is personal. It is a promise between you and your goal. No audience needed. The world respects results, not promises. So work in silence, build in silence, improve in silence. Let people be surprised. Surprise is powerful. It creates impact. When people do not see your struggle, they only see your strength. When people do not hear your doubts, they only see your confidence. This is not about hiding. This is about focusing. Focus is rare today. Everyone is distracted. Everyone is speaking. Few are building. Be different. Be the one who builds. Talk less, achieve more. It sounds simple, but it changes everything. When you stop talking so much, you stop seeking approval. When you stop seeking approval, you stop fearing judgment. When you stop fearing judgment, you act freely. Freedom creates growth. Growth creates confidence. Confidence built from action is strong. Confidence built from words is weak. Weak confidence breaks under pressure. Strong confidence stands in storms.
If you want real growth, choose the storm. Choose the work. Choose the quiet path. The quiet path is not easy, but it is powerful. You may feel alone sometimes. That is normal. Every strong tree once stood alone in the field, but it kept growing. And one day, people rested in its shade. Let your life be that tree. Rooted in silence, growing through action, strong in character. This is the beginning of real growth. This is the power of talking less. Part 2. Building inner strength and protecting your peace. Real growth is not only about action, it is also about trust. You must trust yourself. When you talk less, you begin to hear your own thoughts. When you hear your own thoughts, you understand yourself better. When you understand yourself, trust begins to grow. Self-trust is quiet. It does not shout. It does not ask for approval. It simply knows. Many people look outside for answers. They ask friends. They ask family. They ask strangers online. Advice can help, but too much advice creates confusion. Every person has a different opinion. Every person sees life from their own experience. If you listen to everyone, you lose your direction. When you talk less about your plans, you give yourself time to decide. You think slowly. You reflect deeply. You ask yourself simple questions. What do I really want? Why is this important? What is the next small step? You begin to answer your own questions. Each small decision you make builds confidence. Each small action you complete builds belief. Self-trust grows through action.
If you promise yourself to wake up early and you do it, trust grows. If you promise yourself to study and you do it, trust grows. If you promise yourself to practice and you do it, trust grows. Trust is built through kept promises. Broken promises weaken you. Kept promises strengthen you. When you talk too much about your goals, you sometimes break promises. You say big things. You promise big change, but you do not follow through. This hurts your self-trust. You start to doubt yourself. You start to think you are not disciplined. You start to think you are not strong. But the problem is not your ability. The problem is too much talking and not enough doing. Reduce the talking, increase the action. Small, consistent action repairs self-trust. When you trust yourself, something powerful happens. You stop needing constant approval. You stop explaining your life to everyone. You stop asking, "Is this okay?" You move with quiet confidence. Quiet confidence feels calm. It feels steady. It feels safe. It does not need applause. This is inner strength.
Now let us talk about energy. Your energy is like water in a cup. Every day you wake up with a full cup, but the cup is not endless. Every argument takes water. Every worry takes water. Every negative conversation takes water. If you share everything with everyone, your cup empties fast. Some people drain your energy. They complain, they criticize, they gossip, they doubt your dreams. After talking with them, you feel tired, you feel heavy, you feel confused. That is energy loss. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it is wise. When you speak less about your personal life, you give less access to your energy. Not everyone needs to know your plans. Not everyone needs to know your struggles. Choose carefully. Ask yourself, does this person support my growth? Does this conversation give me strength, or does it take strength away? Energy protection begins with awareness. When you notice that certain topics create stress, reduce them. When you notice certain people create drama, limit contact. Your peace matters. A peaceful mind works better. A peaceful mind solves problems faster. A peaceful mind creates smarter plans. Noise weakens thinking. Drama destroys focus. Drama often starts with small things. A small comment, a small misunderstanding, a small piece of gossip. But when too many people are involved, the small thing becomes big. This is why sharing everything can be dangerous. Imagine you tell many people about a problem. Each person adds opinion. Each person adds emotion. Now the problem feels bigger. Now the story changes. Now you must explain again and again. Your energy drops. Avoiding drama begins with privacy. If something is small, keep it small. Not every issue needs an audience. Sometimes the best solution is silence. Silence stops gossip. Silence stops argument. Silence stops escalation. You do not need to react to everything. Reaction feeds drama. Calm starves drama. Strong people do not react quickly. They pause. They breathe. They think. Then they respond with control. When you control your reactions, you control your life. Now let us talk about boundaries. Boundaries protect your time. Boundaries protect your energy. Boundaries protect your future. Without boundaries, people will take more than you can give. They will ask for help often. They will expect fast replies. They will demand your attention. If you say yes to everything, you say no to yourself. Time is limited. Energy is limited.
If you give it away without control, your goals suffer. Creating boundaries begins with clarity. Know your priorities. Know your goals. Know your working hours. Know your rest time. Then communicate simply. I cannot talk right now. I need to focus.
I will answer later. Short, clear, calm. You do not need long explanations. Long explanations invite debate. Short clarity builds respect. At first, setting boundaries feels uncomfortable. You may feel guilty. You may feel afraid of disappointing others. But remember this: you are responsible for your life, not for everyone's comfort. Healthy boundaries create healthy relationships. People respect you when you respect your own limits. If you always give without limit, people may take without limit. But when you protect your time, people learn your value. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors with locks. You decide who enters, you decide when. This control gives freedom. When you avoid drama, protect energy, and build boundaries, your mind becomes strong. Strong mind, calm heart, clear direction. This is real growth. Not loud success, not public praise, but stable inner power. When you trust yourself, you walk differently. When you protect your energy, you think differently. When you create boundaries, you live differently. When you avoid drama, you grow differently. Growth becomes faster. Growth becomes deeper. Growth becomes real. You stop performing for others. You start building for yourself. You stop reacting to noise. You start responding with wisdom. Wisdom grows in silence. The more you protect your peace, the more you protect your future. Every quiet day of focused work builds strength. Every calm decision builds character. Every boundary builds respect. Step by step, day by day, you become stronger inside. And when you are strong inside, you do not need to prove anything outside. This is the second layer of real growth. Not just action, but protection. Protection of trust, protection of energy, protection of time, protection of peace. When these are safe, your success becomes unstoppable. Part 3. The deep power of long-term growth. Real growth is not fast. Real growth is steady. Many people want quick results. They want fast success. They want big change in a short time. But strong success takes time. A strong house needs a strong foundation. A strong tree needs deep roots. A strong person needs long-term discipline. Discipline is not exciting. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is simple. It is daily. It is quiet repetition. Long-term discipline means you continue even when you are tired. You continue when nobody notices. You continue when progress feels slow. That is where most people stop. They stop because they do not see fast results. They stop because nobody praises them. They stop because it feels boring. But the quiet worker keeps going. Discipline is not about motivation. Motivation changes every day. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel weak. If you only work when you feel good, you will not go far. Discipline works even on bad days. Discipline works when you feel lazy. Discipline works when you feel doubt. It says, do it anyway. That is power. Long-term discipline builds identity. You stop saying, I try. You start saying, I am. I am someone who trains. I am someone who studies. I am someone who keeps promises. When discipline becomes identity, growth becomes natural. You do not force yourself. You simply act according to who you are. This is quiet ambition. Quiet ambition does not announce itself. It does not need attention. It has a clear vision. It has a strong reason. It moves step by step. Ambition is often misunderstood. Some people think ambition must be loud. They think ambition must be visible. They think ambition must show off. But the strongest ambition is silent. It wakes up early without posting about it. It studies without telling everyone. It builds skills without applause. Quiet ambition is patient.
It knows that big goals need small daily work. It does not rush, it does not compare, it does not panic. Comparison is dangerous. When you compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10, you feel behind. When you feel behind, you feel pressure. When you feel pressure, you lose focus. Believing in your journey means you stop comparing. Your path is different. Your timing is different. Your lessons are different. No two journeys are the same. Some people bloom early. Some people bloom later. But blooming late is not failure. A flower that blooms later is still beautiful. Trust your season. Trust your pace. Believing in your journey fully means accepting slow days. It means accepting mistakes. It means accepting growth that nobody sees. Invisible growth is still growth. Roots grow underground before the tree grows above ground. If you only believe in visible progress, you will quit too soon. But if you believe in the process, you will continue. The sweetness of silent success comes from this belief.
Imagine working quietly for years. No noise, no big announcements, no constant updates. Just effort, just discipline, just focus. Then one day, results appear. People are surprised. They say, "You changed so fast." But you know the truth. It was not fast. It was daily work. That moment feels sweet, not because others see it, but because you remember the silent mornings. You remember the difficult days. You remember the times you wanted to quit, and you did not quit. That is sweet success. Sweet success is different from loud success. Loud success needs attention. Sweet success needs only self-respect. Self-respect is stronger than applause. When you respect yourself, you feel peace. When you feel peace, you feel complete. You do not chase validation. You do not need to prove your worth. You know your value because you built it, brick by brick, day by day. Believing in your journey also means trusting setbacks. Not every step is forward. Sometimes you fall. Sometimes you fail. Failure is not the opposite of growth. It is part of growth. Every mistake teaches something. Every delay builds patience. Every challenge builds strength. If you talk too much about your failures, you may feel shame. If you keep working quietly, you build resilience. Resilience is silent power. It stands up again. It tries again. It learns again. Long-term discipline and quiet ambition create resilience. They create stability. Stability is rare in a noisy world. The world moves fast. Trends change quickly. Opinions change daily. But a disciplined person stays steady. Steady people win in the long run, not because they are lucky, but because they do not stop. Believing in your journey fully means trusting that every small effort matters. One page studied, one workout completed, one skill practiced. Small actions look weak alone, but repeated daily they become powerful. Water drops look small, but constant drops can shape stone. Be that constant drop. Do not rush to show the world. Do not rush to announce every step. Build depth before you build display. Depth creates strength. Display without depth creates collapse. When success comes, stay humble. When success grows, stay disciplined. Silent success should not change your character. It should strengthen it. Stay focused, stay grounded, stay grateful. Remember the quiet days. Remember the hard work. Remember why you started. Gratitude protects ambition from becoming pride. True growth is not only external, it is internal. You become calmer. You become wiser. You become stronger. Not because people praise you, but because you trust yourself. Trust is the final reward of discipline. When you fully believe in your journey, fear becomes smaller, doubt becomes quieter, confidence becomes stable.
You walk your path without rushing. You work without complaining. You improve without noise. This is real growth. Talk less, achieve more. Not because silence is magic, but because silence protects focus. Focus builds action. Action builds discipline. Discipline builds identity. Identity builds destiny. Your destiny is not created in one loud moment. It is created in thousands of quiet decisions. Choose wisely. Choose daily. Choose silence when needed. Choose action always. Believe in your journey fully, even when nobody sees it, even when nobody understands it, even when nobody applauds it. Because one day, the results will speak, and when they do, you will smile quietly, not to show the world, but to thank yourself. This is the secret of real growth.
If this message hit you, then don't just watch and leave. Like this video, share it to someone who needs this wake-up, and subscribe to this channel. Study yourself 1 hour a day. We are building a different breed here, a new generation of doers, people who don't wait for permission, people who build themselves daily, people who compound quietly and become untouchable over time. Hit subscribe, join the movement. 1 hour a day, every day. And in 1 year, your future self will not recognize you anymore. Let's grow. Let's execute. Let's dominate our own potential. Subscribe now and start becoming the person nobody can compete with.